Hello and good evening. Thank you for having me here and thank you for allowing me to speak. I often ask myself, is it okay to speak? Can I speak? Am I allowed to speak? Well, last week I was in a clothes shop and there was a man there, a tall man, and he was standing there and he was shouting. And he was shouting, "Idiot, come here! Idiot, come here! Come here, idiot, come here!" And I looked and thought, who is he speaking to? And this boy walked over and stood next to him, and he was between the ages of maybe 12, 13, even 14. And the boy stood next to him and the man said, "You are an idiot. You are an idiot." And I remember feeling so angry. My heart was beating out of control. And I thought to myself, I should say something. Should I say something? And then a voice in my head said, "You need to speak now, or you never will speak." So I didn't say anything, I froze, in fact. And the man said to the boy, "Go over there and choose something." And then the man looked at me, and my mouth was open, and I was froze. And I was thinking about what I could say to him. And he said to me, "What are you looking at?" And in that moment, I snapped, and I said, "He is not an idiot. He is not an idiot. You are going to ruin him. You are ruining him." And he said to me, "He is an idiot." I said, "He is not an idiot." And he said to me, "You're a fool." I said, "I am not a fool." I said, "How do you think that makes him feel when you tell him he's an idiot?" And he said, "Well, he is an idiot." And I said, "Okay then, how would you feel if your dad said that you were an idiot?" And he said to me, "My dad did say I was an idiot." And in that moment, I thought, wow. And I remember Oprah Winfrey interviewing Michael Jackson's parents, and she asked Joe Jackson, "What about the abuse?" And he said, "We didn't know any better." And I remember hearing that and thinking they did know any better. They actually did not know any better. And this man didn't know any better because his dad called him an idiot. I went over to the boy and I said to the boy, "Don't let anybody tell you who you are. Don't let other people's opinions define you." And I said, "Do you understand? You are not an idiot." And he nodded his head. And as he nodded, one tear came down his face. And I could tell, and I felt like no one had ever said that to him before. Nobody had ever told him that he's not an idiot. And then I had to walk out. I had to walk out very quickly because I didn't want him to see me crying. And when I went outside, I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And I cried firstly because I felt helpless. I felt useless. And then I was crying because I felt angry. I felt really angry. And then I was crying because I thought to myself, I know that if I don't say something, I never will. So that's why I'm here today, because I'm ready to speak. So, how have I arrived here? My mother carried me for 9 months. September the 17th, 1984, I was born. And on the 29th of October, 1984, I was 6 weeks old. And my mother gave me away. She gave me to a family that she knew looked after children. And she asked them, "Would you take her? Would you take her off the books?" And my mother and father raised me as their own. And when I was 8, I remember that was the first time that I realised that I was black and that my parents were white. And it was pointed out to me at school by a school child, I'm sure. And from that moment, I started to feel like maybe I was less than, maybe I wasn't good enough, maybe I had to prove myself, maybe I had to make my parents proud. And I remember from that point forward that I've strived to be the best that I can be in everything that I do. And that is what's pushed me forward, my desire and my ambition to be recognised and to be accepted by everybody. So when I was 19, I was working at a telesales company, and they invited a speaker called Clive Gott. He was a motivational speaker, and it was the first time that I even knew motivational speakers existed. And I remember him saying something. He said a lot of good things, but one thing that he said to me, well, he said it to everyone, but I felt it was for me. He said, "It is none of your business what other people think of you." And that resonated with me, because I remember thinking and spending a lot of my effort and time trying to make other people think of me in a certain way. I wanted to be liked. I really cared what other people thought. So in that moment, I thought, well, okay, then if it doesn't matter and if it's none of my business, then maybe I should just move on with my life and try to do what I think I need to do. And I took that bit of information with me, but didn't go back to it. So let's fast forward 5 years, 2010. So in 2010, I fell flat on my face. I came out of the Big Brother house. Everyone around me thought I was a millionaire. I actually was broke. And when I say broke, I don't mean a couple of £1,000 in the bank. I mean over my overdraft. Me and my partner were living at home with my mum and dad. They were feeding us and clothing us because we were broke. Me and my partner decided then, we need to do something different because this isn't working. And I remembered what Clive Gott had said about, yes, you can, and anything is possible. And I started reading and studying, and we started trying to find out how to be more successful. We started watching videos and buying books and going to seminars, and we said, okay, well, we know that we are here now and have nothing. Why don't we give this thing a try? And we changed our lives. From 2010 to 2014, we moved into a 4-bedroom house in a sought-after area with a massive back garden. We've got 2 boys now. And the reason we have arrived here is because we learnt the formula to success. And that formula to success is available for everyone to know. But it seems like only certain people know about it. And I'd been searching for it from all of my life, and it wasn't until I was 27 that I figured out what it was. So what about all those people out there who have no idea that there's a formula, that it even exists? How is everybody else going to find out about this? So once I had learnt the formula to success, I said to my partner, so what are you going to do with this information? And he said, I'm going to take action and make sure that I can build myself to be the best that I can be. And he said to me, well, what are you going to do? I said, now that I know this, I want to tell everyone. I don't think that anybody should not know what the formula of success is. And that's why I think we should put mindset in schools. I think that schools is where the skills should be taught. It should be part of the national curriculum. Just like we do maths, English and science, we should do mindset. Once we get to a certain age, we start to decide that this is the way life is. So rather than me putting all of my energy trying to convince 30, 40, 50-year-olds that thinking is the most important thing that we do and how we feel about ourselves determines our success, why not put it in schools? Why not start with year 3s up to 6th form and plus? And I have created a success system that we can implement that will teach children through to adults how to raise their self-esteem, how to understand their self-concept and their self-ideal, how to set goals, how to become everything they're capable of becoming, how to increase their full potential, their full human potential. These skills need to be taught in schools, and we need to start now. I went to America and I met the authority on human potential, and I gained qualifications to teach it. So what I do for a living is I teach people how to reach their goals and how to become everything they're supposed to become. And I watch and I see people change. I see ordinary people do extraordinary things after learning this. And I believe that if we put this into schools, we will see a difference. We will change the generation to come. We can teach them everything that they need to know so that they can raise their self-esteem and understand that they are capable of anything. This is something that we can take control of. We have to take control of this. We have to do something. And as soon as we can instill confidence into our children, they will start to raise their hands and they will start to see things differently and they will start to think differently. If we change the way we think and give everybody the opportunity to understand the formula to success and have people being able to work on themselves and raise their self-esteem and start setting goals, I guarantee we will see something different. Let's all just start thinking differently.